I'm Natalie France and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As always, this is a space completely dedicated to the cultivation of self-love through the practice of yoga. Today's session is all about connecting to your Chin Mudra, and I'll explain a little bit more about that for you in just one moment. As I just said, today's session is all about connecting to your Chin Mudra. So your Chin Mudra being one of those hand gestures, those hand mudras that we like to work with in yoga. And your Chin Mudra in particular is very good to connect into your consciousness. We're going to be thinking about connecting to that higher purpose for you. You're going to start here in your cross-legged position, or if you need to kneel, you could kneel if it was better or felt more comfortable for you. But as you come into that cross-legged position, you want a nice foundation also for you to be able to hold and sustain your Chin Mudra for the moment. So whether you're kneeling or sitting cross-legged, we think about lifting out of your hips, length of the spine, face up to the chin to chest, and for that Chin Mudra, your thumb and index finger on both hands come together. Now this is actually the harder way to do it. It's probably the more known way of doing your Chin Mudra, but if you feel like your finger and thumb don't want to stay connected, you could actually take your index finger into more that dip to where your thumb is there, so it's that crease there, and press like the top of the index finger into the side just underneath where the thumb can grip, and that might feel better for you. So that's your kind of modified option. That's the option that most of you might be familiar with if you're familiar with Chin Mudra. Your three fingers want to be glued together, there's no separation. Bring the fingers together. We're going for palms facing up because palms facing down is Jhana Mudra, so palms facing up is a Chin Mudra. And from here, let the arms rest onto your knees or thighs in some way, shape or form. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then close off your eyes here. So as you connect to your Chin Mudra, thinking about this idea of how your Chin Mudra is reflective of consciousness. And normally when we think about connecting to that sense of your consciousness, we often phrase it as connecting to your higher purpose in life. One of the kind of aspects of going along a self-love journey is connecting to who you truly are, who you are meant to be, and understanding your purpose. And a lot of people do struggle to connect with what their purpose is, what their potential is, but it's a great way to guide you on your path to self-love. It gives you a goal to work towards. It gives you something to exist for. It gives you structure, foundation, something to lift you and aspire to become and be. So as you hold your Chin Mudra, connecting to your natural breath, aiming to inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. I want you to take a moment here at the start of today's session to think about your higher purpose, that high level of consciousness. And think about one thing, just one thing, keep it simple. Think about one thing that you feel called to do with your life. Something that resonates with you. Something that you feel passionate about. Connecting to what uplifts and makes you feel uplifted. That thing that you hold dear in your mind, in your mind's eye, that makes you have this sense of connection in your life, in your yoga practice. Maintaining your chin mudra as you think about this, keeping your arms long and extended, your fingers, your three fingers are together, your thumb and index finger are in some way, shape or form connected, that unity, that cycle, that flow of energy that continues to flow. And then after your next exhale, flicker and open your eyes. And if you're positioned on your mat like I am, just turn yourself so you're facing the short side of the mat. Bring the hands down, roll onto your knees and step back into a tabletop position for your cat-cow. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Press away from the ground to find that protraction across the shoulders, that broadening through the upper back. Micro bend to your elbows so you're not hyperextended for some cat-cows. Inhale, lift your back up, arch your spine into your cow pose. Exhale, round for your spine, drop your head, tuck the tail under for your cat pose. And continue to work for your cat-cows nice and slowly right now as you inhale up. Exhale to release down. Let's start to warm up the spine for the practice before we go into yoga practice that connects you to that chin mudra once more. When you get there, take a normal inhale, lift up into your cow. On an exhale to release down into your cat. So then come back to a neutral spine, that halfway point in between both poses. Stabilise your shoulders, lift up into your abs, step your right foot back, and then you should be able to glide the other foot back into that high plank. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, release your knees, knees and toes out behind you. Keep lifting up into your abs, you bend your elbows, come all the way down to your chest, and your abs come down to the ground together for that modified version of Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift your head and chest slightly, lift up into your Bhujangasana, so your Cobra pose. Exhale, lift up into your knees and tuck your toes and push your hips up and back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Fingers nice and wide, you spread to press into the pads of the fingertips. Avoid pressing the weight into your wrists. Your feet should be hip distance apart. Release your heels down to the ground. Release tension from the neck, taking your drishti, so your gaze either to your navel or between the back legs. You hold it here. And hold it here still in stillness just for a moment. Think length for your spine, legs and arms. Pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. You can most certainly bend your knees if those hamstrings feel tight, and pressing your belly back towards your thighs. And then with each exhale, thinking about the heels, wanting to start to draw downwards, and over time you'll find that release in the hamstrings to help you lengthen the legs over a period of time as you practice your downward facing dog more. Starting to pedal out your knees, so exhale, bend one knee, inhale, transition, exhale, bend the opposite knee as you move gently now through this, walking out your dog. Bringing that awareness back to that higher kind of purpose that you are working towards. And as you hold in your Adho Mukha Svanasana with your head even pointed down towards the ground, that's still that sense of connection between the crown of the head angled down towards the ground as you keep working through your pedaling in your knees. You start to come back to being nice and still in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. You exhale, you bend your knees and look forwards. You inhale, step your right foot, left foot to the front of the mat. As you lift up halfway into your Ardha Uttanasana, think lengthening again for the crown of the head, but shoulders draw back and down so you're not round, you're not arching your back. You exhale, release down into your Uttanasana, forward fold, release your head to be angled once more down towards the ground. There's still a higher consciousness, so if you think the head is just angled and inverted at the moment down towards the ground. As you inhale, slowly rolling up the spine, resetting the spine one vertebra at a time, your head being the absolute last to come up, so you come up to standing. When you come up to standing, going into your mountain pose, your Tadasana, so you want to be roughly a foot to one of your own feet away from the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart and parallel. You might lengthen through the legs with a softness in the knees, so you're not hyperextended. Tucking the pelvis under, roll your shoulders back and down, and palms face to your front, so your fingers are nice and long. And again, think about that sense of energy surrounding here, so you think back to connecting to a higher consciousness and where it is that you feel you're destined to go. As you inhale, raise your hands to prayer above the head into your Urdhva Hastasana, slightly lifting your gaze without knocking your head back. And then exhale, draw your hands to prayer to heart center into Anjali Mudra here, elbows out to the sides. Taking a deep inhale in. As you exhale, you step your left foot back. So I'm not mirroring you here, so just make sure that your left foot going back. So step your left foot to the back of the mat, okay? Keeping your left foot nice and parallel to the back of the mat. The right heel wants to cut a line through the centre of the left foot, and your right knee is bent over your ankle, and your hips are squared to the left side of the room. So you open your arms out into Virabhadrasana B. So your warrior two, shoulders nice and relaxed, aiming to have the back hand the same height as the front hand, and then taking your gaze to your right hand. So looking towards your right fingertips without kind of twisting the body to the right side. So it's just the head that turns to the right, everything else is angled to the left. Bending into that right knee, so the right knee is tracking over your ankle, so you should feel that intensity in the legs here. And keeping your back nice and upright, tucking the pelvis under. Flip your right palm to face up towards the ceiling as you inhale, reach forwards. As you exhale, reaching back into your reverse warrior with your Chin Mudra, so bring your thumb and index finger together as you hold it here. Feel that energy connected once more as you hold it in your reverse warrior. So your Viparita Virabhadrasana, if I pronounce that right. I am trying my best to pronounce my Sanskrit words right. Holding here. Feeling that connection, that slight back bend in this asana as you hold it here, and looking up towards your right hand, or if that feels too much, then look down towards the ground. That feels better for your neck. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, circle your hands down to frame your right foot, then step your right foot back into the high plank for modified or full chaturanga dandasana. So inhale in to prepare. As you exhale through full modified chaturanga dandasana, move forward, your hands and toes touch the mat, you keep yourself at 90-degree bend. You inhale up into your Cobra pose or your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so your upward facing dog. Knees down to modify, knees lifted for the full version of your upward facing dog. You exhale, push up and back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look forwards. Inhale to step your right foot, left foot to the front of the mat, so you lift up halfway into your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to release down into your full Uttanasana, so your full forward fold. Inhale to reach the hands to prayer above the head into your Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, bring your hands to prayer to heart center. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat into your Virabhadrasana 2, so your warrior 2 once more, Virabhadrasana B. So your right foot is nice, pass back of the mat, your left knee is over your left ankle, the left heel cuts a line through the centre of the right foot, you bring your arms out either side of you, making sure that your right hand is the same height as your left hand. You keep your hips squared to the right, it's just your head that's turning to the left as you hold it here. Gaze into your left fingertips, shoulders nice and relaxed. You then turn the left palm to face up towards the ceiling, you inhale to reach forwards, you exhale to your reverse warrior once more. So your thumb and index finger want to come together, but keep the hand a bit more straight. If the hand comes over, that goes more into your Janu Mudras with the hand facing down. I want to keep the hands lifted here a bit more, so it's more of that upward shape. For it's your true Chin Mudra, you hold it here and breathe into it. So your Viparita Virabhadrasana, your reverse warrior. You take an inhale in. As you exhale, frame your left foot, step back into your high plank for full and modified Chaturanga Dandasana. So bend the elbows to 90 degree bend for that full Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, these toes up to your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your upward facing dog. If you're staying lower down to your Cobra, into your Bhujangasana, then if you're staying down in your Cobra, then just lift the chest ever so slightly, hold it here. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, push up and back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Release and hold here for a moment. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look forwards. Inhale, step your left foot, right foot to the front of the mat. As you then lift up halfway into your Ardha Uttanasana, so left foot to crown the head. Exhale down into your forward fold, your Uttanasana. Then inhale, raise your hands to prayer above the head into your Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer to heart center for this version of your Tadasana, and hold it here, palms against the sternum. Take a moment to inhale in. Exhale out to release. Take another deep inhale in. Exhale out to release. On your next inhale in, you exhale, step your left foot back once more into Virabhadrasana B. So your warrior 2, you keep your hips once more square to the left side, you take your gaze to your right side, you then turn your right palm to face up towards the ceiling as you inhale to reach forwards, you exhale to flip back into your Viparita Virabhadrasana, so your reverse warrior, thumb and finger together into your Chin Mudra, hold it here, feel that connection with the energy, feel that sense of connection to that higher purpose. You take a deep inhale in. Now as you exhale, you start to square your body forwards, you lift your left heel, you take your weight into the right leg, into your dancer's pose, okay? Just have your left hand onto your hip for the moment. You take your weight into the right leg, so you're straighten that right leg, you're going to bend your left knee, and ideally take your left hand to the outer part of the ankle. You kick back into the hands, lift your left thigh up, you keep your right leg straight. Keep your hips squared to the ground, so you press back into your left hand, so avoid opening your left hip out to the left side, so in your dancer's pose. Natalie. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to now bring your left foot against your right leg for a variation of Vrikshasana that feels comfortable for you. So if I actually turn and now mirror you this time, you have a couple of options. You can have your, what will be your left heel just above the right ankle. You can have your left foot below the right knee or your left foot above the right knee, as long as your foot is not on the knee itself. So if your foot is sliding, have it below the knee instead. Okay, and fix your gaze on one spot in front of you. That's not like to move, so it helps you take a moment to find that balance in your Vrikshasana here. Still in your Chin Mudra now in both hands, shoulders relaxed, arms out to sides. Feel that connection, awareness once more to your higher purpose, your consciousness, but keep your hips square to the front, so be careful that the left doesn't try to go back, keep the left hip a little more forwards and the right hip drawing back as you hold it here. You take one more inhale. As you exhale, release left foot from the right foot, the right thigh. Then step your left foot back into that lunge position. Take your time to guide yourself there. Bending into the right knee, left knee is lifted. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release your left hand down to the ground here. So open out to your nectar of the moon pose, your Soma Chandrasana. I'll explain if you don't know this one. So you're going to twist to your right side. You're going to allow the right hip to open out a little bit here, and you're going to let your left foot roll onto the outer edge. So your left foot is nice and parallel to the back of the mat. Keep your right arm extended up for a moment. This is your version 1, as you hold it here, of your Soma Chandrasana, so your nectar of the moon. And as you move into version 2, you reach the arm behind you, so your palm is facing more up towards the ceiling. You take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring the right hand back over, bring the right sole foot down, go onto the left toes, left heel is lifted, then step back into your high plank for your Vinyasa. Take a deep inhale in to prepare. As you exhale through full unmodified Chaturanga. Inhale up to your Cobra, or your upward facing dog. Exhale, push up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth to release. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. When next exhale, bend your knees, look forwards. Inhale, step in your right foot, left to the front of the mat. As you lift up halfway into your Ardha Uttanasana. Chest open, shoulders back and down, start to your chin to chest. Exhale down to your forward Uttanasana. Inhale, raise the hands to prayer above the head for your Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer to heart center as you take a moment to hold it here. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth to release once more. Take another deep inhale in. Now as you exhale, step your right foot back to Virabhadrasana to your warrior 1 once more. So open the hands out to sides. Your hips are squared to the right. Actually bend your left knee over the ankle. You roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Shoulders relaxed. And take your gaze to your left hand. From here, you take your left palm to face up towards the ceiling. You inhale to reach forwards. You exhale into your reverse warrior, bringing your thumb and index finger together of the left hand into your Viparita Virabhadrasana, reverse warrior here. And keeping the arm a little bit more extended so the palm isn't coming over you, but it's pointing down into Janu Mudra. We want to keep your Chin Mudra as we hold it here. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to square your hips towards the front of the mat. Lift your right hip off the ground. Take your right hand to hip for the moment. Shift your weight into your left foot as you lift up into your dancer's pose here. Bending your right knee, taking your right hand around the outer part of the ankle of the right foot. Keep your hips squared to the mat. Kick back into your right hand. So your dancer's pose, your Natara Jasana pose. As you hold it here. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to guide yourself into your Vrikshasana. Now your right foot comes into position. Both hands go into Jan Mudra, so you can have your right foot above the ankle for the left side, right foot below the knee, or right foot above the knee. So as long as it's not resting on the knee, that's the main thing. Bring that sense of grounding into your standing leg, bring that sense of connection to your higher purpose as you land through to the crown of the head, but shoulders stay away from the ears. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release the sole of your right foot from your left leg and step back into a high lunge position. Then start to lower your right hand down to the ground. Open that a little bit into that left hip and round onto the outer edge fully of your right foot. So your right foot's nice and power to the back of the mat into your nectar of the moon pose. Keeping your left arm nice and lifted up to ceiling for this version 1. So much Chandrasana as you hold it here. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, let the left arm then lower down so it's more in line with the right leg as you hold it here for your version 2 of your Soma Chandrasana. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring the left hand around and down, frame your left foot. Step back into your high plank for your Vinyasa. Take a deep inhale in to prepare. As you exhale, lower through full and modified Chaturanga. Inhale up to your Cobra or your upward facing dog. Release your toes out behind you. Exhale, push up and back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth to release. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release into your Balasana pose, your child's pose. Toes together, knees either side of the mat. Rest your forehead down to the ground and hold it here for the moment. From here, as you hold your Balasana, your child's pose, turn the right palm to face up towards the ceiling once more. Take your right hand into your Chin Mudra. So your thumb and index finger come together with the right hand, your 3 fingers are together. Your left palm stays down on the ground as normal as it was just a moment ago. And hold it here. And as you start to keep your right side in your Chin Mudra, can you maybe elevate the right arm off the ground ever so slightly, maybe a centimetre. Feel how that makes the body feel as you simply lift the right arm off a little bit. Feel that energy pulsating through the arm as you hold it here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the right hand down to the ground fully. Change onto the other side, so plant the right palm into the mat. Turn your left hand to face up towards the ceiling now. Thumb and index finger together of the left side. 3 fingers glued together. Try to lift that left arm maybe a centimetre off the ground. Feel that energy flowing through, that intensity. Hold it here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release your left hand down, release Chin Mudra, bring the left palm back down to the ground, lift up into your knees ever so slightly. Now slide your right knee behind your right wrist and lift back into your left leg into your pigeon here. Stay nice and upright. So in your pigeon, we're looking to go to your one-legged pigeon, so your Eka Pada Vajrakapotasana here. You're going to bend your left knee, so bend your left knee up. Now, if you've got anything going in your knee and it feels too much, just stay in your original pose. But if you can bend your left knee, great. If you want a little bit more from that, you're going to take your left hand behind to the outer part of your left foot. You're going to hold it here, angling the left heel in towards you to where it feels comfortable for you. If you want to go a little bit further, back into your Chin Mudra, you can extend your right arm out, palm faces up, thumb and index finger together, elevate the right arm up and hold it here. Keep lifting your chest, keep opening up across the hips, keep pressing your hips also forwards so you're not arching your back, you're protecting your back, so tuck the pelvis a little bit more. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, release the right hand down first, secure the right hand down, then release the left foot down, bring your left hand to the ground. Tuck the toes of the left foot, lift the left knee off the ground, stabilise your shoulders, lift up into your abs and glide that right foot back into your high plank for your Vinyasa. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale through full and modified Chaturanga. Inhale up to Cobra or your upward facing dog, release your toes out behind you. As you exhale, press back to your Balasana, your child's pose, so toes together, knees outside the mat, reach your arms nice and long, rest your forehead down and hold it here for a moment, deep inhales and exhales. Bring that awareness back to that higher connection, that sense of consciousness as we've used your Chin Mudra today for this session to have a sense of connection to your higher purpose in life and what that means to you. Start to bring yourself up onto your knees as time gliding your left knee behind your left wrist, lifting back into your right leg. And of course you can stay here. It's the original version of your pigeon if you want to, otherwise you're coming into your one-legged version, so your Eka Pada Vajrakapotanasana again. You're going to bend your right knee this time. That might be as much as you want to do. You don't have to go any further than this. Your next step is to take your right hand towards the outer part of the ankle and guide your heel in closer to you. For that Chin Mudra connection, you're going to take the left arm out, so palm pushes up towards the bring the thumb and index finger together and the three fingers stay glued together. Think about tucking your pelvis, pressing the hips forward a bit more, but open out across your chest to find that length, but also protection in the back. Lift and then left arm up a little bit more. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release your left hand, secure that down first. Release your right foot down if you're gripping it, bring your right hand back down. Tuck the right toes, lift your right kneecap off the mat, stabilize your shoulders and glide your left foot back for your final vinyasa. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, lower down through full and modified Chaturanga. Inhale up into Cobra, upward facing top, release your toes out behind you. This time exhale, push up and back into your Adho Mukha Konasana, your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth to release. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth to release once more. Take a deep inhale in. On your next exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat to come to seated. And then facing back towards myself into your final pose, into your cross-legged or kneeling if you need to kneel, and then back to your Chin Mudra of both sides, so arms fully extended, and a slight bend, free length those arms, thumb and index fingers together on both hands as you hold it here. Lift out of your hips, start to reach into chest, think length from the base of the spine right over to kind of the head, and then close off your eyes. Bringing yourself back to that sense of connecting to that higher purpose, that sense of consciousness, that higher consciousness for you. What that means to you and how that can guide you on your journey of self-love. Taking deep inhales in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth to find that release. After your next exhale, keep your eyes closed, but guide your hands to Anjali Mudra, so your hands to prayer to heart center, thumbs against the sternum, elbows out to the sides, shoulders back and down. Thanking yourself for showing up to today's session, and as always, I'm always grateful for you joining me on these yoga sessions. So you take one more inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth to release. Flicker and open your eyes, and slowly lifting your gaze. So thank you as always so much for joining me on today's session, and as you now start to get to know me as your kind of yoga instructor here on YouTube and start to work more on your yoga journey, I'm implementing a little bit more of the traditions of yoga which aren't just that physical practice, bringing in the ideas of using your mudras, and mudras aren't just hand gestures either. There are other types of mudras that we can start to explore the more you join me on these sessions, bringing in elements from pranayama, your breathing practice, and not just the asanas, not just the actual movement of the poses, but just really starting to encompass now this whole idea of connecting to yoga to bring this cultivation of self-love into your life. I personally adore you kind of doing yoga and identifying and working with these different aspects that come up within yoga, that come up as part of the yoga tradition, to help myself in cultivating this idea of self-love. And I like to share that with you because I found yoga such a useful and beneficial part of my life as I've started on my own journey, and I share that with you to help you also connect with your journey of self-love by coming to this channel and understanding that yoga is not just about the moving flow, but the breath, the gestures, the hand gestures, the mudras that help you have this sense of energy that keep you going, that keep you lifted, that keep you connected to something in some way, shape or form. Even in those moments when you feel like you're having a downtime, you can always connect to a yoga practice that helps you to feel that sense of inner peace and inner love and self-care once more. As always, if you loved and liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you're always around to get my videos, and make sure you hit the bell so you get notified each time I upload new videos, so you never miss out. You can always get your bi-weekly dose right now of self-love. So until the next time, do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm sure I will be with you real soon again on the mat. Have a good one, everyone. Take care of yourself.